Well, here we go, lads and lasses. It's going to be Newcastle versus Marseille in France tomorrow night, and it's going to be a very interesting one as we've only been here once before, and that was back in the UEFA Cup semi-final back in 2004. We all know the result. We all know what happened back then. Of course, losing out to Marseille and not making it our way through into the final. Didier Drogba scoring twice in front of 57,000 fans. And the modern Velodrome now holds over 67,000. So an extra 10,000 more fans are allowed inside the stadium these days at the Orange Velodrome. But it's going to be an 8 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night on TNT Sport at the Stade Vélodrome in Marseille. 8 p.m. for us, 9 p.m. local time, France, of course, with that hour difference. But the information that is needed for the travelling Newcastle fans, if any of you who are watching this channel and watching this video are travelling over to Marseille, then this is the information that you need to know. The French authorities have enforced a strict travel rules for away fans to this game because of how deadly the Marseille fans are. They are a horrible bunch of fans, and I don't want to paint all of them obviously with the same brush because there probably will be some nice fans amongst them, but there is the ultras like PSG have and like most teams have in Europe. There is ultras and they are absolutely deadly. So the French authorities have enforced strict travel rules for away fans, and these rules are as follows. The NUFC supporters meet at 4:30 p.m. local time at Place de la Jolette, north of the Old Port. Sorry if I butchered the name on that one, but the fans will be escorted by Metro to the stadium 4.5 hours before kickoff. Anyone attempting to travel independently will be denied entry. Disabled supporters have separate arrangements, of course. Power banks are allowed for phones, which is vital for your digital tickets, of course, for the game. And after the match, fans will be held back and transported back to the same square. These restrictions were condition of receiving the away allocation, and of course other teams have had to deal with this as well in Europe. Atlanta fans, of course, face identical rules, and Ajax fans, however, were just completely denied entry altogether. They actually banned Ajax fans completely from attending the game for theirs, but thankfully we Newcastle United fans that will be travelling, obviously I'm not included in the travelling fans, I'll be watching it at home with my family like I do all the time. But for the travelling fans that are going over there, them are the rules that have to be abided by. They have to be stuck to, because these are the rules that the French authorities have put on us being able to have this allocation to see this game in France, in Marseille. But with that being said, let's go to the team news. Looking at the team news, of course, we'll start with Marseille first. Marseille is expected to have some absentees. Aguard, Morello, Miranda, Toure and Guri. Sorry if I've butchered the names there, but they will all be expected absentees from the game. Roberto De Zerbi is, of course, the Marseille manager, ex-Brighton manager. Of course, we have played him before and we have beat him before, and hopefully we can do the same tomorrow night in this game 5 of the Champions League. And all we have to really do is get one win, and we are pretty much assured to go through to the next round of the Champions League, which will be, of course, the knockout rounds, as we would be away from, of course, the whole playoff stuff and all of that would be straight through. We wouldn't have to deal with any of that faff. But De Zerbi is the manager of Marseille, and he has been unpredictable this season. Only one win in the Champions League, a 4-0 loss 4-0 win, sorry, versus Ajax. But they have recently hammered, of course, Nice 5-1 on Friday to briefly go top of Ligue 1. And the referee team for this one, of course, will be Maurizio Marazzi, is of course Italian referee, recently demoted after a controversial Napoli Inter Milan match involving two soft penalties, so that isn't a good sign. Of course, we've had situations before with referees in the Champions League, Marseille for, of course, PSG, and that was the last time we played away in France. So hopefully we don't have to have a similar situation this time around with an Italian official instead. On VAR, it's Marco De Ballo and Alejandro De Palo for the VAR. And then looking at our team news going into the game, Anthony Gordon will be in the squad. Emil Kraft is available as well. Not travelling, however, will be Kieran Trippier. Don't know what's going on with that one, to be honest. I think he might have a small knock, or he might just be being rested. Unavailable as well is Johan Wissa, and returning to the team after a domestic suspension is, of course, Dan Burn. So we're going to have some pretty strong players to play against Marseille. Looking at the league form for Marseille in the Champions League, they have, of course, lost 2-1 to Real Madrid, 2-1 to Sporting Lisbon, a 4-0 win against Ajax, and a 1-0 loss against Atalanta, or Atalanta, if you will. And, of course, looking at our form, we have been really good, barring, the game against Barcelona. We've done some really good stuff in the Champions League this season. We got a 2-1 loss to Barcelona, but since that, we went on to win 4-0 against Union Saint-Gilles. We went on to win 3-0 against Benfica, and we've went on, of course, after that to win 2-0 against Athletic Bilbao, and that now takes us on to this Marseille game, where hopefully we can continue that good run of form from them previous 3 games. And if we do, as I said at the top of the video, of course, we will be every chance of going through to the next part of the Champions League, of this new format of the Champions League. Now, looking at our fixture against French sides away, dating all the way back to the 77-78 season, we had a 2-1 loss to Brest, and the 96-97 season we get a 1-1 against Metz. Then the 96-97 season seen we, of course, lose 3-0 to Monaco. 2001-2002 season seen we draw against Troyes. The 2003-2004 obviously was the 2-0 loss to Marseille. The 2004-2005 seen us win 4-0 against Sochaux. And then the 2012-2013 season seen we'll lose 2-0 to Bordeaux. And then the 23-24 season seen we're, of course, drawing against PSG, which would have been a win if not for a very controversial call by Marciniak to give a penalty to Paris Saint-Germain. So a mixed history, but we have nothing to fear going into this game. And I think, if we can go into it with the same mentality that we have in the previous games against the likes of Union Saint-Gilles, Benfica, and Athletic Club as well, Bilbao, then we've got every chance of coming away from this game against Marseille with the win. But I mean, we did really good in the game against Barcelona as well, but we're just unlucky that Barcelona had that extra edge in the game to see themselves get the win in that one against Wood. But hopefully that isn't the case in the game tomorrow night in Marseille at the Stade Vélodrome, as we take on, of course, Marseille in France. And hopefully we can see ourselves, you know, cement a place into the next part of the Champions League. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Hit that like, share, subscribe to the channel. In any fans that are travelling, like I say, keep to them rules that have been said there. The French authorities have put them there for a reason. They know what the Marseille fans are like. And like I said, not all Marseille fans will probably be like that. There probably will be the odd one that may be a nice fan. But, I mean, you've got to be careful, be vigilant, stay together as a group as well. Don't, you know, go off on your own because it is a dangerous place to go in, not just, you know, the football side of things. It's a very dangerous place to go, even if you're not going for the football. You know, it's a very dangerous place. Lots of crime going on over in Marseille, so definitely be careful and keep your eyes open whilst you're all over there. But till next time, hit that like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. However, lads.